Also, another kid specifically of the Jagannath Dalvas was beautiful and Dalvi Gopal. And I was just watching outside. Looks like Vrindavan. Yes, really. I was just thinking, oh, if I didn't know where I was standing, there is a familiarity with the fields of Vrindavan till some new homes come up. But then when I turned around, I saw a pole. I said, not we can please them, we can inspire all of us, and quickly do the purification of our heart so that we start developing feelings for Sri Krishna, Sri Radha, Sri Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Saints are important, teachers are important in any tradition, correct? They teach us, and sometimes they have very revolutionary ways of teaching us. Similarly, saints also. We hear how people had come to one mother had come to a saint saying, "Arey Baba, my son is like too addicted to now." Prabhuji made me go from IIT Bombay to IIT Madras. So let's take the example of Madras. So she said, "My son is too attached to Medu Vada." So the same. Do something. He just keep eating Medu Vada. If not in our home, it goes to the neighbor's home and grabs Medu Vada. So the saint didn't say anything. He said, "Come after 6 months." Okay. She came after 6 months and the saint then talked to the kid and the kid stopped eating too many what? Medu vada. So mother was saying, wait a minute. Now first you have to explain me. Why do I have to wait for 6 months? You just told that kid, right? You didn't. This is also falling in love with Medu vada. So the kid, you just told kids something. I mean, you didn't do mantra, tantra, puja, anything, correct? Like we do, like this. You didn't do anything. So, why do I have to wait for 6 months? Any guesses? Why he has to wait for 6 months? Because the saint was telling, Are I too was attached to Methura. So, first, I have to get rid of my tendency of jumping over Methura. So, saints have a very unconventional way of teaching us. There was another saint who was happily staying in a village. Even the kids can come, maybe they'll also have fun. You want to come? Haribol? So the saint was sitting somewhere in a nice, quiet place. And one of his followers was staying in a village. And all his home, there was just cack, pack, 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 cacophony. Too many people talking too loudly at one go. Have you observed sometimes? Like you have a neighbor and then all three or four talk together. And sometimes they raise their decibel values also. I said, what's going on? I have that experience in which when one starts talking, then the other starts talking, and the third starts talking, and the decibel levels just increase. Baba, talk separately, not together. So he was saying, Are everybody keeps talking, there is no silence, and mother talks, mother in law, outlaws talk, and in laws also talk. And my wife also talks, kids also talk. I have no shanti. You need shanti. So he goes to the saint. Now saint, yes, says, I have a solution, but you have no solution anyway. So promise me you'll follow my solution. This is how the saints first take, pakad lete hain, grab you. That's how Krishna did. Remember our first session when Krishna, Radharani was doing man and Krishna came and said, God, give me, say to me 3 times that I'll give you whatever you want, isn't it? 3 times. So he said, okay. In Hindi, we call it marta kya nahi karta. If a person is like here, he will do anything. He said, okay, accept it. So you know what the saint told him? My solution is, you are a farmer, right? Okay. Now take to your home 2 goats, 3 cows, and 6 chickens. Right? 2 goats, 3 cows, and 6 chicken. You have to follow it. You gave your vow. So very reluctantly, hesitatingly, already to his noisy home, he took what? 3 cows, 6 chicken. So already the in-laws and the outlaws, they are doing their cacophony. Along with the cacophony, there is something else happening. What? What do the goats do? Anybody knows? There's no knows, no? Well, they did the I sound, right? Man, like that. What do the cows do? They'll see, instead of we have more noises coming because the topic is about noise. What do the cows do? Yeah, that's like AI generated cow sound. Doesn't resemble the cow sound. Okay, so the cow sound. And the 6 chicken, they did their whatever. So this fellow is again completely nonplussed, completely confused. That already in my home, everybody was talking at one go, and now here we have how many? 2 goats, 3 cows, and 6 chickens. He is thinking, which part of my brain I should take it out? Which hair should I take it out? He's just splitting headache. Finally, after many, many days, he heads back to the saint and says, what? Baba, what kind of solution did you provide to me? I had noise level issues, and you are sending me 2 goats, 3 cows, and 6 chickens. So the saint hears him and then tells, okay, now my solution is take out 2 goats, 3 cows, and 6 chickens. Nonsense. Do it all what I am telling you to do. So as he is going towards his home, he is hearing the sounds of the goats, the sounds of the cows, and the chicken. And his whole thought process is how to get these 2 plus 3 plus 6, 11 people out of the home. He takes them out and he sleeps on his bed, and there is no neighing of the goats, no mooing of the cows, no cackling of the chicken, and he sleeps happily ever after. What just happened? What just happened? Perspective changed. That's how saints teach us in a very unconventional way. And one of the saints about whom we are discussing, who is actually not a saint, well, I think you all can come forward. You all have chosen one corner of the. So, if you don't mind, you can come here so that. Or if you want to have a backrest, then it's fine. So, this saint is not an ordinary saint. He is Bhagwan himself. He is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about whom we are discussing. And he has a very interesting way of teaching us. Remember, we talked about backbencher Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a backbencher. So Mahaprabhu comes and gives a very simple upay, which is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Backbencher upay. And that's why Rupa Goswami calls him as Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha. Gauratushe, his run color is golden. So Jiva Goswami says Antar Krishna Bahir Gauram. Do we remember Pili poker pastime? Krishna did a whatever dulki in the Pili poker and it turned out to be Gaur. Gauravan. Antar Krishnam Bahir Gauram. And does he have the ayudhas? Like the weapons? No. Darshidanga the Vaibhavam. His darshan itself is his Vaibhav. In Hindi we say akhiyon se goli mare. Darshan itself. Like how much time it takes us to preach, isn't it? DYS we do. Then what do we do? maybe some Bhagavad Gita, then Bhakti Shastri, then Bhagavatam, so on and so forth. For Mahaprabhu, just by darshan, darshidanga, the Vaibhavam, his Vaibhav was his darshan. And Kalau Sankirtanadya Ismaha, in Kalu, he has come with his great upaya. Like that, the upaya of that saint, 2 goats, 3 cows, 6 chicken. His upaya is just Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Such Krishna Chaitanya, I take the ashraya. So he's Krishna, Krishna Chaitanya, and Prema Pradayate. He's not giving us the ordinary things. Remember, we talked about this. That sometimes people say, "Are what is the need for any parampara?" You know parampara? Like if you go to college, we check, right? What is the parampara? Sometimes people they have their website also. They connect themselves to Newton, to Laplace, all these. I am the 16th PD after Laplace. So, parampara is important. Teacher had to be a good student. He had to be a good student, going up to Krishna. Sometimes people say, oh, mantra is effective in the parampara, not the naam. Let me repeat. Mantra, like Krishna mantra, Gopal mantra ityadi is important in the parampara, not naam, because naam namakari babhuda nija sarva shaktis. There is no rules, but no. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has imbued a specific potency in the naam, so it has become even more surcharged. Aiche naam dhvani, aiche nritya, aiche kirtan. Pratap Rudra is telling Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I haven't seen such things. Haven't you observed, like if you go to Sadhu Sangha, the places of Kirtan, the Kirtan is electrifying. I mean, what's there? That's the potency of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveling through the parampara, then coming to us. Noise. But that's okay. We have met the same, so we can change our perspective. Good thing to start with. So here is Mahaprabhu who is imbuing a particular potency, isn't it? Prema Pradayate, and his Mahavadanyaya. Mahavadanyaya, very merciful. He's not looking at who is Patra. Hence, aren't we very fortunate? Sitting here in Dallas, honored, Gaurnitai deities all around, and Prabhu is here, so new Navadvipa Dham around nearby. Isn't that very wonderful? And it's such a coincidence that we are talking about Navadvip to Nilacala, and then we come back to New Navadvip Dham. So Mahaprabhu is specific, very kind of the, and we are talking about his pastime. Because the reason, or the corner point, or you can say the central factor in him being Mahavadanyaya in his pastime is his sannyas lila. Because he took sannyas lila to bring the Naam to all of us. 2 events happened before he was preparing for sannyas. We talked about that. First, he went to East Bengal. Do I have all of your attention? So now if the sound comes, we'll think about what? That noise level. So he went to East Bengal and met with Tapan Mishra. Now Tapan Mishra was a great Pandit, but he had no idea about the conclusion. Tapan Mishra's pastimes indicate what? That only scholarship will not lead us to Krishna Naam, to Krishna Prema. Because we can just rip apart the books and study threadbare and take out connections and corollaries and conclusions. But what? Hari bol, this simple word will not touch. On the other hand, a simple lady can sit just making garlands and haven't studied all the scriptural conclusions, may exactly know what is the final conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, isn't it? So he was not sure what to do what. And as he is in there in East Bengal, a divine personality appears in the dream and says what? Go to Nimai Pandit. Nimai Pandit is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is visiting. Ask him. He is none other than Nar Narayan. He is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he gets up, goes to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu tells him what? What's the final solution? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But don't tell anybody else that I am what you saw, because there is some time that I will reveal these pastimes. Why? Because I haven't taken initiation as yet. I haven't accepted a guru. And so it must come in a proper teacher to teacher to student, that connection. So Mahaprabhu comes back from East Bengal to the place, and then he goes to Gaya. Any of us been to Gaya? Gaya gaye hain? So in Gaya, he took Diksha from Ishwarpuri, and then he showed his Sankirtan pastimes. These two events happened. And as he's depicting his Sankirtan pastimes, two more events happened which made him sure that he has to take sannyas. First, he's a teacher. So he's teaching everybody, but he is in the mood of Sri Radha, isn't it? Antar Krishnam, Bahir Gauram, but he has the bhav of Radha bhav. We talked about this. So many footprints we talked about in Krishna Lila, isn't it? How to find Gaur Lila in Krishna Lila. So here is Mahaprabhu, who is an excellent teacher, but one day he is just chanting Gopi, Gopi. And some of the kids are thinking, he's gone mad. He should chant Krishna, Krishna, not Gopi, Gopi. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radha, he starts chastising them, telling, Are, who is your Krishna? He became Bali, he became Vamana and tricked Bali Maharaj. He became Ram and cut off the nose of Surpanakha. This is exactly how gopis would also taunt Krishna. Please understand, this is not our mundane taunt. This is all for Krishna's pleasure. Now, the students run away and tell the other students, Are, bach gaye baal baal. You say, right? Baal baal bach gaye. Because he was coming to kick us, but we somehow escaped and we have to do something about it. He thinks he's a son of a Brahmana, Jagannath Mishra, but we too are also sons of Brahmana. What does he think himself to be? First event. Second event. That's mentioned in Krishna Charita Mahakavya by Murari Gupta. In this book, they mention about they were doing their night sankirtan and would close the door so that somebody of a different mood does not enter. Somebody of different mood does not enter because it just creates a rasa bhas, isn't it? You have a nice rabdi and you put kala namak in it. Now, this is North Indian example. Okay, let me give you IT Madras. You have a nice, not Medhu Vada. Medhu Vada's what goes along with Medhu Vada, sambar, and which has perfect spice level. You understood. And some Gujarati comes and puts sugar. Rasabhas, right? So this they didn't want Rasabhas. It should close. In fact, I know in Vrindavan, many old ashrams used to follow this practice. If they are doing Sankirtan, they would just close the door. Nowadays, it's even scary because people may not come to hear or chant, but to do what? Selfie. Even though right in the front of them it is written, selfie खींचना मना है, 1000 रुपए जुर्माना है, फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. I think the priests thak gaye hain. They have just become tired of telling. So, no rasabhas, but this Brahmana wanted to enter and he was a different mood. So he took his Brahmana thread, broke it, and said a curse to Mahaprabhu that your family life won't go long. When Mahaprabhu was happy, he knew what he has to do. And he said, you can repeat after me. Yata yata prema vristi kore panch jane. Yata yata prema vristi kore panch jane. Garam. Yata yata prema vristi kore panch jane. Yata yata prema vristi kore panch jane. तत बड़े जल व्यापे त्रिभुवाने तत बड़े जल व्यापे त्रिभुवाने. Like the five people, what are the five people? You can look up there on the bookshelf. Panch Tattva. Whatever, whenever they would do Prem Drishti, the Hare Nam Sankirtan, it will just increase. But some people won't take it, who are the six category of people we talked about in the last discussion. मायावादी कर्मनिष्ठा पोकर की गणना मायावादी कर्मनिष्ठा उदार की गणना निंदक भाषण जग पडुया अधमा निंदक भाषण जग पडुया अधमा. These people will not take it. Mayavadi who think that Krishna has been covered by Maya and become, or Brahma has been covered by Maya and become Krishna. Krishna has many aspects, Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagwan, but doesn't mean he get covered and becomes Krishna. That's the problem. Karmanishta, keep trying karma. Kotarki ka gana, keep arguing, hair splitting arguments, argument for the argument's sake. Nindaka, who criticize. Kuta, Pashandi Athis and Padu Yadhana. These students who are lowest amongst all because they are not understanding my bhav. So, Taha Deki Mahaprabhu Kore na Chintan. Taha Deki Mahaprabhu Kore na Chintan. Kiha Kiha Ida Ida Pratikya Bhaja. Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas so as to expand the network, and he was successful. Sometimes, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we think, oh, Mahaprabhu is our property. Nobody else knows about them. Nobody really thinks Mahaprabhu as their Mahaprabhu, but that's not true. Sometimes you may ask some of the impersonalists also, they'll say, Hare, Mahaprabhu is ours. Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Shankar Sampradaya. We know the inner reason. But they will say, oh, he's ours. In fact, in Vrindavan, how many of us have been to Vrindavan? There is a place in Vrindavan called Davanal Kund, where Davanal, we sing, right? Samsara Dava. What does Davanal mean? Anal means fire. Davanal means forest fire. So this was the place where forest fire rose and Krishna sipped it, drank it, isn't it? So Davanal Kund is there. Near Davanal Kund, a saint came from Punjab area. And we used to call him Clock Wale Babaji. Kaun? He will be very upset if he comes to Dallas, by the way. 6:30, 7:30. The printed time 6:30, but the official time is 7:30. That's a different place, a different bhav. But for him, it was, if he was walking, people would figure it out. Arey, that must be 7:30 a.m. If he is going in the evening, they will match their clocks. So this Babaji was an impersonalist. I don't know what happened to him in Vrindavan. He came in touch with Gaurang Mahaprabhu's teaching. And he just became mad after what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He would take a big gong and just beat it and do Hari Bol, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And some of the people from his village came and said, Maharaj Ji, Ganges always comes and destroys our villages. Why? Because the embankments are not there properly. We have to do something about it. His name was Hari Baba. So Hari Baba said, okay, we'll build a dam. All of you will build the dam, but there is one condition. With every mud you will pour and every brick you will put, you have to say what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's 60 to 70 years, perhaps the bank, the dam still exists. These were amateur people, right? They were not masons, but the Shakti of Mahamudra and his conviction. Like that, there was another saint from Bengal. Anybody from Bengal here? Again, a rhetorical question. Oh, there are. Wonderful. So there was a saint, lady saint, very famous saint in Bengal called Anandamayi Ma. She came to Vrindavan. There is an ashram also. Now, today and tomorrow and on Saturday, we'll try to understand some geography of Vrindavan. So this Anandamayi Ma ashram is in front of the Ram Sevashram, which suppose you get sick in Vrindavan, that's a place to go. It's wonderful hospital. So this Anandmay ashram, I just thought maybe we'll go someday. So I went with my mother. And there we see the Harinam happening and the deities of Gaur-Nitai. Last place you will expect, at least I didn't know about it. And the Gaur-Nitai deities were so beautifully dancing and they had also tears painted. So it was a Gaurang Mahaprabhu in the Rudan Bhav. So did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expand his network? He expanded his network by taking off sannyas. And Mahaprabhu wanted to teach us by taking the sannyas ashram, he was establishing a whole system of varna ashram, isn't it? Ashram means what? It comes from a Sanskrit root, shramu tapasi or khede. Tapasi or khede means some tapas, some tap. Everything let loose, that's not life, right? We all know. Let loose on Medu Vada. Problem for coming days. So control, isn't it? Like we discussed, व्यवहार का सुख थोड़े में है, विस्तार में नहीं. What? व्यवहार का सुख थोड़े में है, विस्तार में नहीं. Not in expansion, but in control. So, Shamu Tapasi Khede, and that's why there are different ashrams like Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Mahaprabhu took the Sannyas ashram as the pinnacle of all the ashrams. They are the leaders, isn't it? Now, earlier definitions would be different. Now, perhaps we have to give new definitions for Varnashram. It's a very elaborate topic, but mota moti idea, ashram is student life, then married life, then retired life, and then I'm saying retired because it's a big question whether retirement happens or not. Remember, we were talking about that how in Vrindavan I went, I saw all three generations sitting on the shop. 40-year-old, his father 60-year-old, his father 80-year-old. Why? And nobody is giving bhav to the 80-year-old. 60-year-old is also confused. The whole shop is run by the 40-year-old. So why the 60-year-old, 80-year-old is there? It's something to think about. Will there be any time retirement? Or we'll just end up working till the end? Will there be any graceful exit? See, practicalities are there, but practicalities must end also somewhere, right? So, Vanaprastha. Now, this is ashram, and varna is studenthood, right? Varna is what a different varna? Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, Shudras. So, student, the teaching class, administrative class, then business class, and then the service class. So, in different realms of modernity, we have to make different adjustments. This Varnashram system is also established so that we know our nature well, isn't it? You put a fundraiser to teach. Big problem. You put a teacher to fundraise. Bigger problem, isn't it? And now sometimes we don't end up finding our natures and we may end up doing something else throughout our whole lives. Now, we understand that there is practicality that we have to do whatever we have to do, but at least something according to our nature that gives us the impetus to wake up the next day with gusto, isn't it? Otherwise, yo, same old day, same day. This is called ruchi. What? Ruchi. What is our ruchi? Anybody name ruchi here? No, right? What is our ruchi? What is our interest? We must know it. And second is yogyata. What? That is talent. So interest and talent. Krishna has given different talents. And Krishna has also given a different interest. At least some years down the line, figuring out what is ruchi and what is yogyata. However, the last card is held by whom? Krishna. So that is Bhagavad Ichha. If Krishna wants to make us do something very different from our Ruchi and Yogyata, we can't help it. Isn't it? But Ruchi and Yogyata is in our interest, is in our fort. And this is again and again repeated in both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. स्वे स्वेधिकार्या निष्ठा सगुणः परिकीर्तितः, doing things according to our adhikar, according to our ruchi and yogyata. Viparyayastu doshah syad ubhayoresha nischaya. If you do somebody else's job, even better. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, problem. Why do you think it's a problem? So it's somebody else's dharma and my dharma is something else. I end up doing somebody else's dharma perfectly. There is a problem, right? Because when the crisis comes, I'll turn back to my own nature. And whatever edifice I created of doing somebody else's dharma, that will fall, crumble. That is why they say there is no place for a non-violent cop and a violent doctor. Non-violent cop or a violent doctor, they do not have place. It's a misfit. So Mahaprabhu is also establishing Varnashram Dharma. But he has to make some people cry to do it. So today we might have, that's why we were doing little Medu Vada thing in the beginning, because what is coming is a very thing which wrenches our heart. Mahaprabhu had to make his mother cry, Shachi Mata. Why would she want her son to take sannyas? So he goes to her, she figures it out. Moms have whatever, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 senses, right? They figure out, chehra dekh ke गड़बड़ है. We were just discussing the other day, sometimes the kids say, oh, Prabhuji ke program mein I have to go. So the mom will say, really? There is something else going on. So moms have the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 senses. So she had a sense and she told, you're taking sannyas, right? And Mahaprabhu is Mahaprabhu. He can bewilder anybody else. So he said, and repeat after me, और दुई जन्म है, और दुई जन्म है, संकीर्तनारंभे हैव संकीर्तनारंभे कुमार पुत्र आमि अविलंबे कुमार पुत्र आमि अविलंबे. Shachi Mata, keep playing. I will take 2 more births. You have always been my mother. By the way, I was Krishna, I was Ram, and now I am who? Shachi Nandana. We discussed the names connected to the moms are most dear. Yashoda Nandan, much better than Nandanandan. Shachi Nandan, much better than Jagannath Sutta. And he's saying, I will take 2 more births. Can you guess which 2 more births Mahaprabhu will take? He's telling Shachi Mata, I'll take 2 more births from your womb. Huh? Kalki? No violence here. He's saying that I will become the Naam and you will be the tongue. You'll be the earth and I'll become the deity. So this verse comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, and our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's Guru, our Param Guru, or rather Paratpara Guru, he is telling that yes, नाम विग्रह स्वरूप तीन एक रूप नाम विग्रह स्वरूप तीन एक रूप तीन भेद नाही तीन चिदानंद रूप तीन भेद नाही तीन चिदानंद रूप. There is no difference between Nam, Vigraha and Swarup. Who is Swarup here? No, I'm not asking somebody's name. Swarup? Thakurji, Bhagwan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is Vigraha? The deities. What is Nam? Hare Krishna Muhammad. So he's telling, oh my yeah, I'll keep on coming. The son. So this pacified Shachima. Then Mahaprabhu goes to his brother. Who is his brother? Kanhai Balai became Nemai Nitai. Kanhai Balai became Nemai Nitai. So he goes to Nityan. Then he goes to Mukunda. Then he goes to Gadadhar. And everybody's crying. Why are they crying? Don't they understand the bigger objective of Mahaprabhu? But no, they are attached to Mahaprabhu. Why would they want Mahaprabhu to take sannyas? His beautiful locks of hair. So they all said, Mahaprabhu, you are independent. You can do whatever you want to do. But our request is, please don't leave us. So Mahaprabhu said, no, I will not leave us. We will associate. Like that, he gives the instruction to them that not many people should know about it. Mother knows, Nityanand you know, Mukunda you know, Gadadhar Pandit you know, Brahmanand Bharati knows, and Chandrasekhar Acharya. 6 persons know about it. And then, as though attracted by Shakti, everybody is coming in the night. Sometimes it happens in our material life also. If some very powerful personality is leaving the body, people who are further away, something happens in their heart. They start remembering him, going near him. So everybody starts coming. And Mahaprabhu gives them his final instruction before sannyas. What is the instruction? Now this PDF has been shared with all of you. Kids, you can come here and sing Kirtan. Okay, so the PDF has been shared with you. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, gao Krishna naam. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, gao Krishna naam. Krishna venu kena kichu jama vibhavan. Krishna venu kena kichu jama vibhavan. Glorify Krishna, worship Krishna, chant the name of Krishna. Do not think of anything. This comes in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Mahaprabhu is giving the final instruction before taking sannyas. Yadi ami prati sneha thake shavakara. Yadi ami prati sneha thake shavakara. If you all of you have sneha towards me, all of you have love towards me, then do what? Tabe Krishna Vyatirikta Nagarita. Hare Krishna Vyatirikta Nagarita. Don't think about anybody else. No Tesla. No Amazon. Tell me what. But what is the heart singing? Actually, the name which heart sings tells us where our investment is, isn't it? And some of the best testament of it is when we are taking shower, what do we sing? Because there we think nobody is hearing, although the parents are hearing outside what we are singing. And we think we are the best singers, right? Because of the acoustic effects of the restroom. But that's where what's there in the heart comes out. So what is Mahaprabhu saying? की शयन की भोजन की बजागरने की शयन की भोजन की बजागरने निश्चल चिंता कृष्ण बोल भवदने निश्चल चिंता कृष्ण बोल भवदने. Really great instruction. की शयने, whether you're sleeping. Hey, sleeping में कैसे? Not sleeping, before sleeping we can take, right? Ki bhojane. In fact, that's a sadhana. Maybe now as you will eat medu vada, may or may not be. But as you will eat prashadam, try chanting and eating it with every grass as much as possible. In fact, one of the techniques for Nam Jap is also prescribed as chanting with the breath. Let's try. Don't release the breath, but with the breath. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Like this, we can do jap also with the breath, so that the name becomes, as in Hindi, how do we make? In North India, we make rotis. So gutna, you know the gutna, boxing with the atla. So the नाम becomes गुथ जाता है आटे में. तो अपने प्राण की भोजने की शयने की जागरणे, and waking up we can take, isn't it? Aharnisha Chinta Krishna, think about Krishna, and Boloha Vadane. Now one person was remaining. Who would be the last block? Mahaprabhu had to also pacify her. Any guesses? Vishnu Priya. Who is Vishnu Priya? Yeah, some say Lakshmi, but his actual identity is revealed in Jayavardhan. She is Bhakti Devi. What is Bhakti? Bhakti is a mixture of two qualities. You can listen with rapt attention. Krishna has three main Shaktis. Sandhini, which manifests the space. Samvid, through which we know Krishna, correct? Sandhini is the manifestation of space. Samvid is through which we know. And Alladini is the pleasure potency. When Alladini comes together with Samvid, that's a very special potency. Why? Because it is Anand and awareness also. We understand Krishna does very naughty little pastimes, but we also know that he is God. Because otherwise, the kids, well, one of them may be Krishna, I don't know, but many of them are having their own pastimes, childhood pastimes, but the Sarvagita is not there. That awareness is not there. These two are important. And Rupa Goswami calls it a very technical shabd, which you might have heard many times. You can repeat after me. Shuddha Sattva Vishesh. Shuddha Sattva Vishesh. Shuddha Sattva means somewhere, and Vishesh means addition of Halladini. So it's awareness that is Krishna, but Halladini, oh, is a naughty boy. Oh, he can deal exactly like Narvat Leela. So here is Vishnu Priya, Bhakti Devi. Is she ordinary? No. If the main hero of sannyas pastime from Navadvipa to Nilacala is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she is also the heroine. She gets pacified, but later she does a lot of tapasya. You know how she would eat? She would chant, and maybe the whole mala takes place, and then she would put one grain of rice. Like that number of rounds she'll chant, put a amount of grain of rice collected, that much she'll cook and eat. Is Bhakti Dev Vishnu Priya. So Mahaprabhu is now running to take sannyas. Now sometimes people criticize us, hey, sannyas is not there in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, no red cloth, no ochre cloth, only white cloth, but that's not there. It's a very Purana ashram. And sometimes they say, no, one has to go from brahmacharya to grahas to vanapras to sannyas. No, but there are sannyas Upanishads, Java Upanishads, so many Upanishads. Now, I think we are in Texas. Not far from here, there was a Sri Lankan professor. He was from Sri Lanka. He's still there, I think maybe Austin somewhere. His name is Patrick Oliville. He did a whole research on Sannyas Upanishads. Which all Upanishads talk about sannyas? So it's a very old tradition. Now, sometimes people will say, no, 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 no. Ashwamedham, Gavalambham. We cannot do Ashwamedh sacrifice in Kali Yuga. No sacrifice of cows in the Kali Yuga. Sannyasam Palapaitrakam. Sannyas is also not allowed in Kali Yuga. Palapaitrakam means giving non-vegetarian food to the Pitris. That's not allowed in Kali Yuga. And last, Devarena Sutopatim. In brother-in-law, one cannot remarry the brother-in-law and produce what? Children. That used to happen earlier, right? But not here. So these things are virgin. So sannyas is virgin. No, 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 no. Not like that. There are three types of sannyas. First is karma sannyas, which means just getting rid of the activities. That is forbidden in Kali Yuga because even to survive, like you go outside the airport, the bottle is 10 rupees. Inside the airport, 100 rupees. So I asked, मतलब खड़े रहने के पैसे, जगह के पैसे. It's the money for the place. 90 rupees is for the bhumi you are standing. So, karma sannyas is virgin. Second sannyas is jnana sannyas. What? Jnana sannyas, where the sannyas is to merge into the impersonal Brahman. That devotees do not. So karma sannyas, not for us. Jnana sannyas, not for us. But the third sannyas, all of us can take it. Whether we dress or not, that's called vidvat sannyas. What? Vidvat sannyas. A sannyas by our consciousness, in which we utilize everything for service, not for us. And this has been repeated in our texts. So Mahaprabhu actually took Vidvat sannyas in one sense. And Srila Prabhupada would send his disciples to go to preach in London. And he would say, these grahasthas are as good as sannyas. So very heart-wrenching pastime is getting revealed now. Everybody is into tears. Mahaprabhu. And they say that Mahaprabhu's taking sannyas is as equivalent to Krishna going to Mathura. Krishna going to Mathura. And when he was going to Mathura, everybody was singing Nis din barsat nain hamari. Nis din barsat nain hamari. So all the Brajvasis are singing Hamare, our, this is a Braj song, the Vaishnava song. Nain means eyes. Nis means night. Din means day. Nis din barsat means Barsi means baras rain. That's why it's called barsana, right? You don't have a drop of mercy there. You have pours of mercy. So it's called barsana. Nis din barsat nain hamari. Nis din barsat nain hamari. सदा रहत पावस ऋतु हम पर सदा रहत पावस ऋतु हम. Anybody from Maharashtra here? You know, Pavas means what? In Maharashtra, we say Alare Paus Ala. Rain. Paus, Pavas. So they are saying every time the weather here is of rain only. Why? Rain. You, since when? जब ते श्याम पधारे, जब ते श्याम पधारे. Since the Sham has gone, it's all rainy season here. It's all rainy season. And what happens in the rainy season? What happens? Somebody calls it rainy season. अंजन थिर नरहत अभियन में अंजन थिर नरहत अभियन में. Some of us may put Anjan, right? So what happens when we cry? Is it stable? No. Which Anjan they are talking about? Srila Prabhupada will tell us, cry for Krishna. We may cry for many, many things. Often there are videos circulating, small kids on the street, their parents have taken their mobile phones and they are crying. Don't interfere in my private matters, give me the phone. Crying for some nonsense thing. And here Prabhupada is telling us, crying for Krishna, because that removes all the vikaras in the heart. So the Anjan will not be stable. And what will happen? Kar kapol bhai thare. Kar kapol bhai thare. Kara means black. The Anjan will fall. So what will happen? This is called graphic poetry, because it is telling how you can imagine in your eyes that all black lines, and it will fall on the handles. Now, will the clothes remain dry? No. कंचों की पट सूखत नहीं कब हो कंचों की पट सूखत नहीं कब हो पुर बिच बहत बनारे पुर बिच बहत बनारे. Looks like my heart has become a fountain. All coming out, all the tears. And what is happening with the tears? आंसू सलिल भये पग थाके आंसू सलिल भये पग थाके बहे जात सित तारे बहे जात सित तारे. Oh, everywhere there are rivers. All rivers are flowing around. So, what happens when there are many rivers? I don't know. Texas, I think 3 years before, there was some flood-like situation. So, similar thing is happening. Gopis are telling, don't worry about that thing which happened when Indra did. That flood was minuscule. Now it's a real flood. सूरदास जब डूबत है ब्रज सूरदास अब डूबत है जगाए न ले पुकारे आए न ये Mahaprabhu has now left. And just like when Krishna left, it was a situation in Vrindavan. They were all crying. Now I'll say, hey, why crying? Sometimes we have tearjerker movies also, right? You go in the movie, cry, and say, what a great movie. You're eating popcorns mixed with the tears, having fun, crying, and have we ever thought why does that happen? Because or the movie is some new rasa. And what about the Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas when we think about the banishment of Sita, banishment of Ram, that also brings tears. The thing rises in our throat, right? Our throat becomes a little choked up. Lump rises in the throat. Is it similar? No, it's different. This causes, it opens the heart and then the rasa can enter. That's why it is called Karun Ras. It is Ras. Ras is always nice. You have sambar, perfect spice. आंखों से आंसू, नाक से धुआं, but हम चाटे जा रहे हैं. Isn't it? We call it hot sugarcane juice. It's hot, but it's sugarcane juice. Or we have a version in Vrindavan. It's you take a peda and you all come on here. We'll have some nice kirtan. Nobody will here. So, peda. heat it. It's molten peda now. It is burning the tongue, but it is still, yeah. Well, that does a difference to our life. Shakespeare was expert into it. You know about Romeo and Juliet? Romeo loved Juliet. Well, they are our English version of Veer Zara, Heer Ranjha, whatever. So Romeo loved Juliet, and their parents, Capulets and Montagues, didn't want it. So they found a father, Lawrence, Friar Lawrence. Lawrence said, I have a booty. This booty will make Juliet go to sleep. And then what happens? Romeo, you'll get the message somewhere else. She will be dead for 48 hours. Then they will bury her. Then after 48 hours, she will become alive. Then you just run away with her. Only problem, as it has to be, the message does not reach Romeo. And Romeo thinks what? She's dying. So he goes to a chemist, buys a poison. Roti kapda makan issue. So he needed money. So he sells the poison. And Romeo goes inside the grave, looks at Juliet, drinks the poison. And the moment he is about to die, Juliet rises. Hurry, you are dying. She takes the last drop, drinks, both dead. Welcome to Shakespearean tragedy. And the Capulets and Montagues are not thinking. Let's make a chabutra with Romeo's and Juliet's golden images so that we'll commemorate their love. That's material love. It also moves people. It moved their parents. But when it is spiritual separation, it is accelerated progress towards Krishna consciousness. So while we are hearing the sannyas pastime, if we are into the mood, it will make our heart wrench, but then it does fast purification. So as it happened that the Brajvasis are crying, now who are crying? Navadvipasis. They are also sad. Exactly the same Leela. Remember, Gaur Leela in Krishna Leela, Krishna Leela in Gaur Leela. So this song comes in Bhakti Ratnakar. Bhakti Ratnakar is like a beautiful book with many stories of our acharyas, and we started today 7:45. So I'm taking the liberty to go a little bit. ITT, ISTT, Indian Standard Texas Time, or Indian Stretchable Texas Time. So this song is describing what happened in Navadvip. What happened in Vrindavan, we know. What happened? Floods came. So Navadvip, what happened? Gora chand chhari jabe naida ethe. Gora chand chhari jabe naida ethe. Tarangar heta janavi Tarangar heta janavi What is Janvi? Who is Janvi? Janvi? Huh? Ganges. So Ganges stopped flowing. Tarangara. What else happened? Shambhu Bhagavati Ganapati Murati Shambhu Ganapati Ganapati Murati Shatachila Koila Malina Mahara Shatachila Koila Malina The 80s, when Mahaprabhu went away from Nadia, the Ganges stopped flowing, and the deities were looking very sad. Sometimes when we don't worship and somebody properly and somebody has a sense of connection to deities, they can tell whether you're worshipping properly or not so properly. So the Jagannath Baldev Subhadra are looking very wonderful, very beautifully dressed. And what else happens? Arulata kula palavitra nahe. Arulata kula palavitra nahe. Avikshe pushpa sugandhina. Avikshe pushpa sugandhina. These are not blooming. And sugandha means fragrance. Hina means without fragrance, the flowers. What else is happening? Tahena boisena piye pushparasa. Tahena boisena piye pushparasa. Agunje brahmara brahmari dina. Agunje brahmara brahmari dina. The bumblebees have stopped sucking the honey. They are not interested. Nobody is interested. See, Krishna is the center, Mahaprabhu is the center. Rest activities are done to please him now. He is not there, so what shall we do? Nothing. Who else reside in the house? Tika, right? Tika kula kala bhava virahita. Tika kula kala bhava virahita. Nache mayura mayuri sane. Nache mayura mayuri sane. Sari sukha nana potiyani ti jhure. Sari sukha nana potiyani ti jhure. Hare udi mare ke kulbane. Hare udi mare not flying. They stopped flying. They become Australian birds. No flying. Only walking. They become kiwis. The cuckoos stopped cooing, the peacocks stopped dancing, the parrots began crying. We forgot one animal, cow. What do the cows do? Hamba Dhani, hamba, moo. So, Denu Gana hamba hamba dhamena dhaya ye. Denu Gana hamba dhamena dhaya ye. Egadi Pashuna Redvati. Egadi Pashuna Redvati. Hare Nara Hare Shobha Dure Dupa. Hare Nara Hare Shobha Dure Dupa. Hare Ke Hare Navira Kriti. Ola Janta Hari Hare 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 Ola Janta Hari Hare Hare Danda Dharita Jantinara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The devotees in Vrindavan and Nadia were waiting some signals from Krishna and Mahaprabhu. That's their thing to survive. In the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Venu Geet chapter, it comes. Tad Vrajastriya Ashrutya. The Vrajastriya heard what? The Pancham note, music of the flute. Venu Geetam Smarodayam. Then Nashakan Smaravegena Vikshipta Manaso Nripa, but they were just tied up. In Navadvipa, they would hear Hare Krishna mantra. Now, this idea has been also utilized by movie makers. I was once hearing a Tamil song, and it was actually characterizing this thing that Tad Venu Geetam Ashritya, hearing the whole sound, they were just stunned. Any guesses on that song? Unnananda Mohan Venu Ganamadi. You know that? What's the next? Harivamsa. But when I was hearing, I said, what amazing lyrics. But my friend came and told, Prabhuji, do you know how it was sung? It was a movie, and that somebody was in the marriage. I said, that. Dhikar. They use it. But the sentiment of separation is there, even in the material line. But that doesn't do much help. Keep chanting Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola won't come. But if we chant Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna will come because he is transcendental. Cultivating mode of separation is the mode of cultivating Govinda necessity. What? Govinda necessity about Krishna. Now, Krishna has left. He is Mahaprabhu, he has left Navadvipa. Tomorrow he'll land into Katwa and he'll finally take sannyas. But when Mahaprabhu is not there, when Krishna is not there, how we can solace ourselves? Just chanting his names, isn't it? So what are the Navadvipasis singing? Kali kukur kadam yadi chao he Kali kukur kadam yadi chao he कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन श्री सचिनंदन गाओ रे कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन श्री सचिनंदन गाओ रे. If you have to destroy the effects of Kali Kukur, then chant the names of Sri Sachinandan. In fact, that's also given if we are in mood of separation and cultivating the law of separation, the name will sit more stable. Prabhupada will always advise us. Chant in the mood of separation. What else we can sing? We can sing about the names. Gadadhara Magana Nitagera Prana Dhana Gadadhara Magana Nitagera Prana Tekera Bhaktita Zora Tekera Bhaktita Zora Dimai Vishwambar Srinivasa Ishvara Dimai Srinivasa Ishvara Akata Samuharchita Chora Akata Samuharchita Chora. He really remember his names connected to this devotee. He is Gadadhar's friend, he is Advaita, he is worshipped by Advaita, and he is Vishwambar, he is Nimai, he is the Ishwar of Srinivas. We are missing her. Bhakata Samuha Chit Chora, he takes the chit of Bhakata Samuha. Nadiya Shashadharam Maya Pura Ishwaram Nadiya Shashadharam Maya Pura Ishwaram Ama Pravarkana Sura Ama Pravarkana Sura. Very easily explanation. And then he teaches Grahasthashramis by his exemplary behavior, and also he is the leader of sannyasis. Grahi jana shikshaka nyashi kuranayaka Grahi jana shikshaka nyashi kuranayaka Adhava radha bhavapura Adhava together. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Navadvipa Dham ki jai. I think Prabhu was here to speak about Navadvipa. Prabhuji Mahaprabhu. So we have also, it's quite coincidental, we're talking about Navadvip to Nilacala, and then here, I think 10 hours drive, there's a new Navadvip Dham, which is a 7,500-acre property in Rio Grande Valley. And by the blessings of all different acharyas, especially His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj, this has been their meditation to make it into a very great Sangha retreat. And I was thinking, devotees are always expert in creating Vrindavans and Navadvips, isn't it? Vrindavan Navadvip is not only limited to geography, but they carry Vrindavan Navadvip in their heart, and wherever they go, they try to manifest it, isn't it? Manifest it outside. So I heard that out of the 7,500 acre, up to 1,008 acre will be dedicated for retreats like Sham Sangha and other things. So it's actually a great benediction. It's amazing if such a thing happens and manifests here, so that when we go into this new Navadvip Dham, we can sing also what? Kali Yuga Pavan Kali Bhayan Shri Sachinandan Bhagavan Kali Yuga Pavan Shri Sachinandan Navadvip Dham ki jai. New Navadvip Dham ki also jai. Please. Thank you very much for your attention. Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Guruji. Nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please. Now we'll have Om Name Bhagavate Vasudeva for the second time. Please. Yeah, okay. No, you sit there. I'm going to just be